Nielsen, my brother, started school at Byron. When we moved to the Byron area, I was in the 4th grade. We had been living up in Copiah County in North Mississippi, where my dad was the principal of the school there. My mother taught high school mathematics and clerical courses like shorthand and typing. And those were fundamental ingredients of our elementary and secondary education system in our state. And so I grew up in that school teacher's family. My mother's mother taught 4th grade in Utica for many years, and one of the things that I enjoyed going up and doing was to go to her 4th grade class when I was in the 4th grade, and enjoy her jokes and her finesse in communicating with children our age. She was really good at it. And my dad and mother, of course, when we came to Byron, mother taught clerical subjects in addition to mathematics. And the thing about growing up in a school teacher family, you sure couldn't get away with not doing your homework. Have you done your homework? Well, let's see. Not only had to do your homework, you had to do it right. So I was blessed in that environment. And it gave me an appreciation, though, seeing my parents and their friends and other teachers who worked in the schools where they would be teaching. We came to Byron when I was in the 4th grade, and I graduated from there. And now it's not even there. Your things change, things get different. But one thing that has endured in our state is the compassion and the interest in our faculty members all over our state. For not as much money as some in other states make, spend every day teaching children how to act, how to read, how to write, how to do mathematics, and how to go on to other education opportunities in our state, so that the next generation will have it a little better and be a little more aware of how to compete in the marketplace for ideas and production of goods and services that we can sell around the world to help elevate the standard of living of all of our citizens here in the United States. So I'm glad to have a chance to say I think our state has some of the most dedicated, hard-working school teachers who work in our schools to help us every day do a better job for our families and for our state and for our nation. So thank you for bringing me to this place where it reminds me of events in Copiah County and Hines County where I grew up, and also an opportunity to say thank you to all of you who've been a part of our education system and who continue to be the administrators of our schools and the teachers in our classrooms. Without you, this wouldn't be nearly as good a place as it is to live and to raise families. So, thank you, educators. Thank you, school teachers. We're proud of you. I have to admit that my primary purpose for coming here today was to let you know that I'm a candidate for re-election to the United States Senate. I had no idea that I would ever be a candidate for anything in particular, but certainly not Congress or the U.S. Senate, or serving in the Senate for the last several terms in the Senate of the United States. But I appreciate having the opportunity to do that and to try to be a force and an influence for thoughtful and helpful laws that are adopted in Washington that apply to our state as it does to all of our states in the United States. to make sure that we use the funds that are raised from the taxes imposed on the American people for legitimate and important reasons. The first that I think of is national security. I was in the Navy and served on a heavy cruiser, became an officer, and then went back in the summer times when I was in law school at Ole Miss and taught at the Naval Officer Candidate School in Newport, Rhode Island. I really enjoyed serving in the Navy, and I think I got to know a lot of the risks and dangers, but also the benefits that flow from a well-trained military force. We have a great country, but we have to be prepared to defend it and to protect it and to ensure its continuation and as a force for peace throughout the world. What an enormous responsibility that sounds like. And it is. But thank goodness the United States is available and people are willing to serve in our military forces and assume the responsibilities of office in the U.S. House of Representatives or the U.S. Senate or in appointing positions in the executive branch of the government. And that's one of the influences that members of our congressional delegation can assert in helping make sure the people who are assigned to these jobs in our state are well qualified and do the job the Constitution intended for them to do by its terms. So all of us who are voters and who are citizens of our great country have that responsibility to try to help carry out the mandates of the Constitution and help construct the construction of the language of the Constitution and the federal laws. So that's why our elections are so important. Please get to know the candidates. Be sure you are expressing yourself through your votes as to who you think should be elected to serve in these positions. I, for myself, want to thank you for your continued support of me through the years and ask for your vote again on Election Day. I will do my best to try to reflect the interests of